Okay, hi, good day everyone. So today we are going to be doing CSEC Maths Paper 1, Section 3, which is sets. Right? Sets is not brought in Paper 2. It's only in Paper 1 and Paper 3 do they test on the topic of sets. Right? 2025 to 2017. So May, June 2025, Paper 1, Section 3, number 7 to 12. Let's read the first one. Which of the following sets is defined by, so if we look at this and we read this inequality, we know that this is saying that x is more than or equal to negative 2 but less than or equal to 4. So basically the range is between negative 2 and 4. So we're looking for the only one that has negative 2 to 4, so which is D would be your answer. Which of the following is an example of a 2-digit positive integer that are divisible by 6? So if that is a finite set, meaning can we count the number of 2-digit numbers that are divisible by 6? An empty set, meaning there is no element that is divisible by 6. An infinite set, meaning we cannot count the number of elements that are divisible by 6. It goes on. On improper set or an improper set, right? It's not an infinite set because they said 2 digits, and that is from 10 to 99. These are, so it's not an infinite. Are there 2-digit numbers that are divisible by 6? Yes, so it's not an empty set, so the answer would be a finite set. Next one, if the universal set is 25, the number of elements in A is 14, the number of elements in B is 15, the intersection of A and B is 6, and the complement between the union of A and B is, so this would be the number of elements in U is equal to the number of elements in A plus the number of elements in B, subtract the number of elements in the intersection, or what A and B have in common, plus what is outside the union of A and B, the number of elements in, I need to fit it so that I could put my values in. Let's write that over again. Number of elements in U is equal to the number of elements in A plus the number of elements in B, subtract the number of elements in A intersecting B plus the number of elements in A union B complement. So what's a union? 25 is equals to, what is A? 14 plus 15 subtract 6 plus some digit here. So it's 25 is equal to 29 minus 6 plus some digit. So 29 minus 6, so that's 25 is equal to 23 plus some digit. Right, that box is going to be 25 minus 23, which is equals to 2. So the answer here is 2. Everyone understands this? Guys, do we understand this?
Miss, you could go it over again.
Sure. Right. So now we are going to do number 10. Item 10 refers to the following Venn diagram, which shows the universal set U. The two sets T and C that represent the 9 students in class, some of whom plays tennis and chess. Now if we look at this, we can see that everyone who plays chess also plays tennis. Yes? Because everybody inside here is also inside your tennis. How many students play tennis but not chess? So we will X off chess. So this would be, but they play tennis, so it would be inside the circle. So it would be 1, 2, 3, 4. It would not be Doug, Charles, or Dora because these persons are not playing tennis or chess. So it will be 4 persons. Everybody good with that?
Yes, Miss.
Right. Item 11 refers to the following information on the description of 3 sets. We have their odd numbers, even numbers, and prime numbers. Which of the following is an empty set? Empty means they have nothing in common. P, which is even numbers, intersect R. P, which is prime numbers, intersecting R. Is there a prime number that's also an even number? Yeah, it is, right? A prime number is 2, and 2 is also an even number, so it will not be hit this. When you see U, this U, that means union. So that is not an empty set. That means we're adding all the elements. P intersect Q. So P, prime number, and odd numbers. If we think about it, majority, with the exception of 2, all prime numbers, all prime numbers are odd numbers with the exception of 2. So this is not possible. This one here, Q intersect R, does even and odd have anything in common? They are opposites of each other, so they have nothing in common. Everybody good with that? Alright. Item number 12. The 30 students in Teacher's May's class have either a dog or a cat or none of the two. So they don't have both of them. It's either they have a dog, they have a cat, or they don't have any of them. Right? So therefore, as soon as you hear or none of the two, they shouldn't have anything in common. So it can't be A, which has 2 cats in common. It can't be C, and it cannot be B. It'll have to be D. 16 students have a dog and 12 students have a cat, and the remainder have neither a dog nor a cat. So it's not only set for dogs and it's not only set for cats. There will be 2 will be outside here. Do we understand why D is the answer?
Yes, Miss.
Alright, and that is the end of May, June 2025. Let's look at January 2025. Okay, so number 12, number 7, which of the following sets is defined? This is a repeated question. It's negative 2 to negative 2 to 4. Right, so it's D. This one is too blurry, so I'm not going to try to read. Let's read in number 9 now. In which of the following pairs of sets is one set not a subset of the other? Subset means that all the elements found in one set is found in the other. P, multiples of 12 and factors of 3. If we look at multiples of 12, that's 12, 24, 36, I could go on, 48, 60, 84, and so forth, right? Then factors of 3 would be 1 and 3. Do they have anything in common? They don't. So this one would not be a subset of the other. So A is the answer. Everyone understands? Right. I'm not going to try to read that one. Right. This one, although the top numbers are a little bit blurry. Yeah, I won't be able to do number 11. Let's look at number 12. A set of positive integers that are divisible by 7 is an example of, they said a set of positive integers. They didn't tell you which one. This would be an infinite set. Why? Because we can't count all the numbers that are divisible by 7. Right? If they said a set of 2-digit numbers divisible by 7, then you can do that. But otherwise, we can't count all the numbers that are divisible by 7. Right? That's the end of January. I didn't have some of the questions a bit blurry, so we won't be able to do the blurry ones. Let's do May, June 2024, paper 1, section 3, number 7 to 12. So, if I combine, this is union, right? If I combine P and Q with S, that means I combine all of these, so it will be D. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Right? This one here, item 8, refers to the following Venn diagram. The shaded portion represents not just the union, but it will be all of this. Right. It would be this. P intersect Q. What does P and Q have in common? This area here. Everything outside of that. So it would be everything shaded outside of the intersection. So the answer is B. Everybody understands? This complement means everything outside of that. The portion that is not shaded here would be P intersect Q. What does P and Q have in common? Well, when we do this and we put a little complement, it means everything outside of that. Right? Item 9, the elements of a set. 6, X is more than 6, not equal to 6. More than 6, but less than or equal to 10. So it has to have 10, but it's not going to have 6 because they said more than 6. Right? So not this, not this. And not this because we have to include 10, so the only answer is C. M refers to PQR. N is PQ. Which of the following statements about M and N are Q? This means subset. Meaning, is M a subset of N? All the elements found in M found in N? No, that is not true. If I take M and I union it with N, if I take PQR and I combine PQ, would I get M? Yes, you would. That is correct. If I were to find the union, would I get N only? No, it has that R. And the intersection, meaning what they have in common, is P and Q. So it is not an empty set. So this will be out and this will be out. So the answer for number 10 is B. Alright. Let's look at us. All students in class play Scrabble or checkers or boot. If 36 of the students play Scrabble only, so Scrabble only equals to 4 is equals to 36%. 48% of the students, so checkers only equals to 48. What percentage of the students play board games? So if I was to draw a Venn diagram, because visually when we see it, it's a little bit easier, right? We know your universal set is going to be 100. This one here, this one here. This is S for Scrabble, this is C for checkers. Scrabble only would be only this region, not the intersection, would be 36. And checkers only would be 48. Right? Now, they said the whole class, so everything in these two circles is going to be equal to 100. So we know 36 Scrabble only plus checkers only 48 plus a box is equal to 100. Yes? So 8 and 6 is 14, 4, 5, and 3 is 8. So 84 plus some number is equals to 100. So that some number would be 100 minus 84, which is equal to 16. So 16% would have played both games. Everyone understand? So if I put 16 here, and you can check it out because we do know, well actually no. We do know if you add all of this up, you have to get 100. 36 plus 16 plus 48 is supposed to give you 100. Right? Number 12. This is a repeated question. How many students play tennis but not chess? Crosses off. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that is the end of May, June 2024. Let's look at January 2024. If the universal set is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and H is 3, 4, 6, then H complement means everything outside of it. Cross out the 3, cross out the 4, cross out the 6. Everything left is 1, 2, and 5. 1, 2, and 5, so the answer is B. Again, H complement means everything outside of H. So it will not be 3, it would not be 4, and it would not be 6. Right? So this one have 3 out. This one have 4 and 6 out. This one have 3, 4 and 6 out. So it has to be B. Number 8. Which of the following statement describes -3 to 6? So -3 to 6 would be this one, B. Right? Hold on. No.
A.
No, it's B. Because they didn't include -3 and 6 is B. It's B, my bad. Alright? Let's look at number 9. Now this one here, if you know your formula, it should be good, right? If x and y are two finite sets such that the number of elements in x is 9, the number of elements in y is 10, the union of x and y is 15, what is the intersection? So the number of elements for x union y is equal to the number of elements for x plus the number of elements for y, subtract what they have in common, x intersect y. The union is 15 is equal to x, which is 9, plus 10 minus some value here. That is 15 is equals to 19 minus some value. That would be 4. So the answer for this is E. Everybody good? If the Venn diagram represents a set of factors of 12, factors of 12 would be 1 and 12, 2 and 6, 3 and 4, and y represents factors of 9, 1, 9, 3 and 3, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then 12. What do they both have in common? The shaded region represents a set of factors of, it would be 3. So if this is, because they didn't say multiples, they said factors, right? It would be the shaded region represents the set of factors. Oh, sorry, what does factors 12 and 9 have in common? They have 3 in common, so it'll be A. Everybody good so far?
Yes, ma'am.
Alright, number 11. Which of the following sets is an example of a disjointed set? Meaning they have nothing in common. And we did something similar to this, where they give a graph, it would be even and odd. Even and odd have nothing in common. 30 students in teacher's maze class have either dogs or cats or none of both. So they can't be intersecting. So through process of elimination, right? They said number of ones for cats is 12, the number for dogs is 16, and all students who have cats and dogs, hold on, if this 30 students in teacher's maze class have either a dog or a cat or none of the two, right? None of the two means they don't have any in common, right? All the students who have cats also have okay, this is the part. All the students who have cats also have a dog. So cats, all the persons who have cats also have a dog. So I believe the answer is D. This one is a little bit tricky. Why am I saying the answer is D? Because of the statement, all the students who have cats also have a dog. Right, everyone understands? Let's look at, and that is the end of January 2024. Let's look at this. Which of the following students is a set? This one would be -2 to -4. Positive integers that is divisible by 6. They did not tell you. They just tell you it's positive integers. It would be an infinite set. This one here, we did this question already and we saw the intersection. would be 25 is equals to 14 plus 15. You said the union is 23. So that means the number in the universal set would be A union B, meaning what they have in common, plus A intersect B complement, which would be 25 is equals to 23 plus this value here, which would be 2. So the answer is B, 2. Right? How many students play both games? Paul and Rima would play only both, so that would be 2. How many students play exactly one game? Will not be Paul and Rima, it would be 1. Kayla plays exactly 1. Tom, Alex, Ali. We don't know about the others, they're not playing sports, so we will assume that they would be 4. The students in me, right. They love to bring this question, so read carefully, right? The 30 students in teacher's May class has either a dog or cat or none of both. None of the two. Students with dogs has 12, students with cats, and the remainder have neither a dog nor a cat. So it's either you have a cat or you have a dog. This would be D is the answer. Do you understand why it's D? Because they're saying they neither have a cat nor a dog. So they don't, either they have a cat or a dog, but none of the two. And that's the end of this. This here is a repeated question. So we are doing January 2023. This is a repeated question. It will be -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. The number of elements in the shaded region. So they said item 8 refers to the following Venn diagram that has 2 intersecting sets. This is P and this is Q. P is 5, Q is 9, and the union is 10. So we know 10 is equals to 5 plus 9 plus what they have in common. Right? So that would be 10 is equal, actually not plus, it will be minus the union. Right? That is 14 minus what will give you 10. That's what is equals to 14 minus 10, which is equals to $10. Give me $10. It would be 4. So the answer is B. Alright. Right. So number 9, which of the following sets is example of disjointed set? Means they have nothing in common. It would be A, which is a repeated question. Number 10, all students in the class play Scrabble or checkers or both. If 36 of the students play Scrabble, we did this already. 36 played Scrabble, only 16 played. Right, so we did a question that was similar to this, which was, where is it? Right. What they did is they gave us checkers, this 36. They gave us the Scrabble, which is 48, and the both was 16. In this question here, they just left out 48. So if you remember this question, you will know that the answer is 48. Or what you can do is, we know that 100% is equal to the number of elements for Scrabble only plus the number of elements for checkers only, add the number of elements for both. Right, so that would be 36 plus some number plus 16 is equals to 100. This is 100 is equals to 52 plus some number. That some number would be 100 minus 52, which is in fact 48%. That would be the working for it. Right? Item 11 refers to the following Venn diagram, which shows 2 intersecting sets of a number of students in each set is indicated. I feel this was the one that was fuzzy enough. 5, 2, 4, and 3. Right, so this one was hockey and this one was volleyball. Right? And this is you. How many students played either hockey or volleyball but not both? That would be 5 plus 4, which is 9. So 9 would be your answer. Both is 2. And while the 3 persons, they didn't play any of them. Right? The set of 2-digit positive integers divisible by 7 is an example of a finite set, meaning we could count how many positive integers. That's 10 to 99. And then divisible by 7, we can count how many 2-digit numbers are divisible by 7. That is the end of January 2023. Let's look at May, June 2022. The intersection, meaning what does P, Q, and S all have in common? They have 2 in common. Item 8 refers to the following Venn diagram. That is everything outside of P. So this is P complement. The elements of a set. So they want the elements of the set. That is, it includes 6, but not 10. So anything with 10 would be out. And it includes 6, so it will be 6, 7, 8, 9. So the answer is B. Item 10 refers to the following information. Which of the following is true? This is a repeated question, which we said when we combine M and N, we got. Did I type down this question? It looked like I typed it out. Yes, it did. M union N would give you M. Right? So it'll have to be C. So the union of these two would give you set M. M is not a subset of N, which means not all the elements in M is found in N. If they told you N is a subset of M, that would be correct. M and N, when you intersect it, actually, when you intersect M and N, you get N. That is in fact correct. Because what do M and N have in common? They have each other. They have PQ in common. So it would be B. Item 11 refers to the following diagram, which describes 2 sets. Which of the following is an empty set? It's the intersection between P, not R and Q. We're looking for Q and R, which is D. Item 12 refers to the Venn diagram, which shows a universal set and 2 sets, T and C, that represents the students in the chess. Right? How many students play exactly? 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it'll be 4. That is the end of May, June 2022. Let's look at January 2022. They want everything outside of H. So they cross out 3, 4, and 6. They get 1, 2, 5. This one here, which of the following statements describe the set of integers that greater than 3 but less than 6? It would be X is great. So it goes like this. Greater than 3 but less than 6, so is D. Hold on. January 2024, this answer is incorrect because I was like, this don't make any sense. Where they said which of the following integers describe the statement describes the sets of integers from -3 to 6. So that is, it is more than -3 but less than or equal to 6. C is the only one that has less than or equal to 6 here. Right? If I was to read this, this would be X is more than or equal to 6. So B is not the answer. The answer for January 2024, number 8 is C. Let's go back to where we reach, which is this. If the union is 15, so we know that if X union Y is equal to number of elements in X plus the number of elements in Y minus the number of elements in X intersect Y. Right, the union is 15 is equal to 9 plus what value? Minus 4. So that is 9 minus 4 is 5. So this here will be 15 is equals to the box plus, well, 9 minus 4 is 5. So the box is 10. So C is the answer. Item 10 refers to the following Venn diagram. In the Venn diagram, X represents the factors of 12 and Y represents the factors of 9. The shaded region, we did this question already. Factors of 12 and factors of 9, we saw that they had 3 in common. This one you have to read carefully. The 30 students in the teacher's mate's class either have a cat or dog or none of the two. All the students who have a cat also have a dog. So you see that statement, all the students who has a cat also have a dog, would be this here. D would be the answer. Which of the following pairs of sets is a disjointed set? So next repeated question, that's even and odd numbers. Everybody good so far? Am I going too fast or can I speed it up a little bit? Yeah, so now we reach May, June 2021, paper 1, right? This one here, repeated question. This is the answer. We just now did it. This one here has how many subsets? This is 2 to the power of n, and we number of subsets, which is number of elements, 1, 2, 3. So it's 2 to the power of 3, which is D. This one here, the set of positive integers, is an example of a infinite set. You cannot find the end of number of counting numbers. This one here is a repeated question, which I did give you guys the formula for. So they want the union of A and B, but we know the number of elements in A union B is equal to the number of elements in A plus the number of elements in B. Subtract the number of elements in A intersect B. Right? That's 14 plus 15 minus 6, which I believe is 14 and 15 is 29 minus 6 is equal to 23. So the answer would be C. If they told you that complement, then it would have been 2. But this is just the union of A and B. Right? This here was a repeated question. Everything outside of P, which is P complement. This one here, 30 students in teacher's mate's class have either a cat or a dog or none of the two. 16 students have a dog, 12 students have a cat, and the remainder have neither a dog nor a cat. So they don't have anything in common. So it will be D. Right? So 16 is a dog, 12 is a cat, and both the rest of the class have neither a dog nor a cat. So it would be D. Right? That's the end of May, June 2021. Let's look at January 2021. P, you always do the brackets first, right? P union S is 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right? And when we want the intersection, that means what they have in common. They have 2 in common, they have 3 in common, they have 5 in common. So 2, 3, 5. So the answer is C. Item 8 refers to the following Venn diagram. If the Venn diagram, the number of elements for P is 5, not P only, just P, the number of elements for Q is 9, the union between these two is 10. Again, you all need to remember that the union of P and Q, 10, is equal to the number of elements in P, which is 5, plus the number of elements in Q, which is 9. Subtract what they both have in common, which is what they're asking. Yeah, what they both have in common. 5 and that's 10 is equals to 5 and 9 is 14 minus what? 14 minus 4. We did this question already. The answer is 4. Right? Whichever example is disjointed sets, even and odd. This one, if you remember the answer is 16, right? Play both. This is our next item 11 refers to the following Venn diagram. In the Venn diagrams, the number of students in each set is indicated. How many students play exactly one game? We have 5 students play hockey, 4 students play volleyball. Only 5 and 4 is 9. So the answer is C. Item 12 refers to the following Venn diagram of 2 intersecting sets, which is partially Partially shaded. Anybody seeing that shaded? Okay. Whew. So this would be not Q complement, because if we watch inside here, it's shaded. Not P complement, so it would not be this, not this. It would be P intersect Q complement. So P intersect Q and everything outside of the intersection of P and Q. So it would be everything outside of Q, which is C. And that is the end of January 2021. Let's look at January 2020. If the number of elements in A is 4, then the subset is 2 to the power of M, which is A. Which of the following set is greater than 3 but less than 6? Greater than 3 but less than 6, it would be C. That's a repeated question. Which of the following disjointed sets? That's odd and even. Which of the following statements is true? B is a subset of A. Yes, because all the elements in B is found in A. Alright? The students in Teachers Me's class have either a dog or a cat or none of the two. All the students who have a cat have a dog. See that? All the students who have a cat also have a dog. So it will be D because it is a subset. Right? And which of the following is A intersect B complement? A intersect B. I don't think this is the answer. A intersect B complement. I think C is the answer. So for this one here, the answer is C, because they're saying everything outside of the intersection of B complement. So they want B complement is just not shaded. Alright, that is the end of January 2020. Let's look at May, June 2019. Repeated question. This number of subsets is 2 to the power of n, n being the number of elements is 2 to the power of 3. This one here, in the Venn diagram, number of elements is 5. The intersection would be 5 plus 9 minus that intersection is equals to 10. 5 and 9 is 14, this is 4. Minus some boxes 10, so that's 4. Which of the following set is empty, meaning what they have nothing in common? The intersection between odd and even. Q and R. That is B. What do they all have in common? That's what this means, right? The intersection. That is 2. This one here is everything outside of P, so that's P complement. Now we're going to do January 2019. The intersection. What they all have in common? They all have 2 in common. This one here, I believe this is our next number 4. So this was 5, this was 9, the union of this is 10. So that's 5 plus 9 plus what they, subtract what they have in common, which is the intersection between P, Q and P, is equal to 10. So that's 14 minus some number is equal to 10, so that would be 4. So B is 4. This one here, which is the equivalent set. Equivalent set means they have the same number of elements. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it will be C. All students in the class, this is the next one, 16. This is the next one, factors of 12, factors of 9. What they have in common? Factors of 3. This one here, repeated question, P complement. That's the end of January 2019. Let's look at May, June 2018. Equivalent set, they have the same number of elements, which would be C. This one here, the shaded region is P complement. Everything outside of P. How many students do not play volleyball? It would be 5 and 3, which is 8. If Q is ABC, then a number, how many subsets? That's 2 to the power of 3 elements. So it would be C. Right? All of the set is empty, meaning they have nothing in common other than even. So you're looking for Q intersect R. Q intersect R, that's the number of elements for Q. So you know the number of elements in Q plus the number of elements in P minus the number of elements for P intersect Q is equal to the union, which is 13. Right? So that is, we don't know, plus 9 minus, what's the intersection? 6 is equal to 13. That is some number plus 3 is equal to 13. That's 10. That is the end of May, June 2018. Let's look at January 2018. The number of subsets would be 2 to the power 3, which is 2 by 2 by 2. 2 2s are 4, 4 2s are 8 is 8. This one here is everything outside of the intersection. So everything outside of the intersection of B, that would be C. Right? H complement everything outside of H, which is 3, 4, 6 as 1, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 4. Yeah, 1, 2, 4. 1, 2, 5, sorry, not 4. This one here, how many, indicate how many students do not play volleyball. That would be 5, and this 3 here, 5 and 3 is 8. Then we're looking at May, June 2017. We're almost done, guys. The intersection of all of these is what they all have in common. This is P complement. This one's here. In a class of 32 students, 17 students play music, 20 students play art. What is the least number of students who play both? So we know that the music intersect A would be both music and art. Right, the number of students for music, the number of students for art, and then the number of students for music and art. Right, so this here for music is 17, for art is 20, this is 32. So we know that is 32 is equal to 20 plus 17 minus that box. This is the box here. This is 32 is equal to 37 minus some number. That some number would be 5. So the answer is B. This one here, factors of 4, 6 and factors of 4. That would be what they both have in common is factors of 4 and factors of 6. That would be factors of 12, which is 12, 24, 36, 48, so forth, right? Now we're going to do January 2017. We did this question already. It was 10. The union is 15 is equal to 9 plus that value there. So ny is equal, minus the intersection, which is 4. 9 minus 4 is 5. So this box is 15 minus 5, which is equal to 10. $10. This one here repeated P complement, meaning everything outside of P. Right? This one here, we just now did this question. Right? We got 5. Last question here, how many students? Is it? Yeah, the last question, how many students in each set is indicated? How many students do not play volleyball? This one. Right, that's 5 and 3. How many students do not play volleyball? It would be 5 plus 3, which is 8. So the answer is D. And that is the end of sets paper May, June 2025 to January 2017.